TV star, Jungle guest host, Jungle caller. He has worked alongside Tom Cruise, Jennifer Aniston, Clint Eastwood, Matt Damon. And I can count on him pretty much every single year to show up today and go to battle with the likes of Vic and NoCal and Joe in the OC. And nobody knows the rules of the jungle like Jay Mohr.
But one of the big rules is you do not gloss yourself. I didn't call myself Slam Man. I don't want to walk around the mall or at a Dodger game and have drunken big Orange County guys go, hey, Slam Man, hey, Slam Man. But that's the gloss I got, and I live with it. I'm happy with it. That's me. I'm Slam Man.
Jay Mohr. Let's do it. JJ, bro, how are ya?
What's happening? Thanks for the line, Jim. How you doing?
Doing great, Jay. Good to hear your voice. Do your thing.
Great to hear your voice. Off the top, first of all, I would just like to say, Dan in D.C., never heard of you. Next, Victor Ramos. It's an honor to be here in the presence of the Smack-Off King, Victor Ramos, Jim. He's the defending champion, Victor Ramos. See, that's the problem I have, Jim, with the Smack-Off and Twitter and the social media sites, is you're supposed to engage with other people. But it's hard to engage with other people when everyone else is mired in their own negativity and anonymity, throwing mud at you. And you're the only one they know. If you Google my name or go to a Wikipedia page, you can learn a whole lot of stuff about me for ammunition. You know what happened when I Googled Victor Ramos? Nothing. I got a bunch of pictures of some other guy's wedding that doesn't even live near the Bay Area or NoCal. But it is an honor to be here in the presence of such greats. Trapper's Call, by the way, was one of my favorites I've ever heard. That was old school hip-hop, taking the young cats to school. I wanted to defend my 2010 Smack-Off title, but that's a lie. But that never stopped Victor Ramos before, Jim. Clones, you know Victor Ramos. He's the guy that got sort of AM radio famous for calling his shot and then not calling the first Smack-Off he tried to get to. That was Vic in no call. He was born then. And then a few years have passed by, and Vivian in the greater Bay Area, or Victor Ramos, has actually won a Smack-Off. The problem is, about a month ago, he already started taking credit for this Smack-Off. He's wondering how to spend his spoils. You're like Charlie Sheen, just running around telling people you're winning when all you're doing is losing. Everyone's laughing at you, Vic. In NoCal, you glossed yourself. You broke the cardinal rule of the jungle. Personal attacks and self-gloss are out, and you cruised on it for your entire tenure as Smack-Off champion. Asterisk. You're just like Charlie Sheen and his imaginary Oscar that I guess he keeps inside his unicorn. Let me tell you something, Vic. You're a bum. You decided not to call the jungle all year after you won your title. That's not what a champion does. A champion has to represent. You were an absentee landlord. As a champion, you're garbage. I guest host several times this year, and I gave you, Victor Ramos, an open invitation and an open phone line to call as respect. Victor Ramos didn't call. You know what he told Jay Stu, clone? He told Jay Stu it was beneath him. Victor Ramos, you know what's never been beneath you? A woman. Vic, the only reason I have any idea that you are even on God's green and blue earth is because you called the show one day out of the blue while I was hosting to tell me that I'm fat, I stink, and I'm not funny. And I did take offense to that because I am funny. I'm damn funny. And it began in my mind an existential question. If I stink as an actor and I'm not funny, in your opinion, then what does that make you? Calling me to tell me these things, waiting on hold for an hour and change, that makes you a zilch, a zero, a nobody, a little boy who is only known by his CB radio handle. Hey, this is Vic and No Call. Can I get a radio check? Over? You're also a moron. You're a cyber bully and a clown with a haircut. How your title hasn't been revoked or how your name doesn't have an asterisk next to it, I will never know, ever. But you should have been shown the door long ago, Vic. And here's something else. You should say to all of your coworkers, followers, maybe they don't know this about you. Vic and NoCal made up a sentence that Jim said out of thin air, wrote it himself on Twitter, and did the old @JimRome and retweeted in front of it. That's lying, Vic. And not only is it lying, but as horrible a person as you are, to give Jim credit for something nice that he said about you is out and out libel. You are an embarrassment to the program. You took the little bit of fame, the little bit of juice that the show gave you, and you tried to parlay it into more juice. Like when you call your local sports radio shows as Vic and No Count from the Jim Rome Show? Are you kidding me? And that's a fact, and I'll tell everyone off the air to back it up. That's pathetic. Only Jim Rome is from the Jim Rome Show, moron. You're the guy that calls the Jim Rome Show and eventually gets bumped for Jim Nance, which, by the way, led to the 3 funniest words ever uttered in the history of the world. Vic, call back. I laid low long enough, but you kept poking me with a stick and poking me with a stick, and now I'm awake. You got me. You want to battle Victor Ramos? Let's battle. But instead of each other battling with punchlines, let's battle to see who headlines, because no matter where any of us finish today, you know this as a fundamental truth, and that's why it bothers you. I am a ticket seller. You are a ticket buyer. So congratulations, Victor Sheen Santos, 2012 self-gloss personal attack smack-off winner. And I got to say something else. The Jungle, in closing, Jim, has always been a place of incredible positivity where people came together under the banner of the Jim Rome Show. Tour stops, dates, we all hung out, we'd eat together, drink together. These people partied together. It was a brethren. And that stopped simultaneously with the exact same time Victor Ramos became the reigning king. Is that a coincidence? No, it's not, Vic. It's because there's a darkness inside of you. There's a hole where your goodness would be. You don't have any. And the Jungle can't thrive with someone as negative you at the helm. You built a wall between yourself and the rest of us. And I ask you today, Jim, tear down that wall. I'm out.
Right on mark, too. That's incredible. Right on his mark. Jay Mohr. As I said, some will come in and go clone-on-clone crime and run through 10 or 12. Some will come in with a single specific target. Jay Mohr v. Victor. Jay had had enough. Clearly, Jay had had enough. All right, where do you slot that one? JJ, great to have you. Appreciate the phone call. Although I'm sure Vic didn't. You had to see that coming. You had to see that coming. There's hour number 1, Smack Off 2011. Tell you what, one of the most interesting, one of the best hours we've ever had. 4 phone calls. We'll keep this thing moving. Smack Off 2011 brought to you by Brute.